The ancient Stabian baths, located in the area of Castellammare di Stabia shipyard, have always been a source of pride for our city. We have decided to present them by focusing on fourth main point. The history starting from Ferdinando Borbone in 1787 up to Marcello Canino in 1989. We mention those who had a decisive role in the creation of this enormous spa complex: Catello Troiano, Enrico Filosa, Eugenio Cosenza, and Marcello Canino. We briefly explained the function of the Stabian bath. Not only were they used due to the presence of 28 springs, but they were also one of the main leisure centers of the city. And finally, we presented the 2006 competition for the procurement of the executive project.
The history of the Stabian baths goes back a long way in 1787. Ferdinand of Bourbon and a foreign commission of experts carry out the first water measurements. While the first works began in 1827, after endless discussions by the architect Catello Troiano, the inauguration took place only 9 years later, in 1836. In 1893, the so-called Moorish Pavilion was built, to which the dispensing tank was added in 1900, and in 1956 the previous structure was demolished for a new structure of the Terme di Stabia, designed by Marcello Canino. Over the years, there have been many architects and engineers who were involved in the construction of the Stabian baths. We decided to consider Catello Troiano, Enrico Filosa, Eugenio Cosenza, and Marcello Canino. In 1827, following endless discussions, the architect Catello Troiano was commissioned to begin the construction of the municipal baths located in front of the shipyards. Here is the famous facade of the bathing and mineral water establishment, designed by the architect Troiano, completed in 1832. Once past the entrance arch of the baths, the senses that were most stimulated were the sense of smell, due to the sometimes sulphurous, sometimes ferruginous exhalations of the waters, and the sight, when the evocative and seductive structure appeared adorned with the capitals of a vague Corinthian style. The pavilion was called Moorish from the stained glass windows, from the arches, from the Oriental style Maiolica.
The name suggested the reference to the civilization and art of the Arabs of North Africa. The large portal would seem to evoke the Bab al-Aryan of the Great Mosque of Cairo in Tunisia.
We also considered the contribution of the architect Eugenio Cosenza for the construction of the dispensing tank. This is why we have included some archive images. On Piazza del Cantiere, Canino located the entrance to the spa with a representative architectural solution, a building clearly identified from the rest of the building, with a canopy supported by four slender cast iron columns, with Neo-Egyptian details that give the wellness building a playful touch.
Now let's reconstruct the various phases of the creation of the ancient Stabia baths. Below is the plan designed by the architect Catello Troiano, which shows the site where the thermal baths will be built. In August 1826, King Francesco I personally visited the spring location and wanted to examine the project prepared by the architect Troiano. The work was later entrusted to the architect Ferdinando Fantacchiotti in 1875. Marcello Canino also made his distinctive contribution to the creation of this important complex. His project included the renovation of the old facility and the creation of a hotel and tourist complex in Solare. The use of mineral waters became part of medical hydrology, expanding the field of therapy. Through contact with other thermal stations, the concept of thermalism was understood. Imagine walking along the path of Castellammare di Stabia in the 1950s, with the sweet scents of thermal waters and the relaxing sounds of the sea. The ancient baths of this charming coastal town in Campania became an oasis of wellness, attracting visitors from all over Italy and beyond. The bath offered engaging activities to delight the senses and rejuvenate the body and spirit. After a relaxing day at the baths, visitors could enjoy local culinary delights. Nearby restaurants serve traditional Campanian dishes made with fresh ingredients. The ancient baths of Castellammare di Stabia were also social hubs where visitors could share joyful and relaxing moments with friends and family.
The municipality, having obtained state funding for the sole restoration and modernization of the spa without expansion, announced a tender competition for the executive project in 2006. The project seeks to implement the technological innovation envisaged within the characteristic of the historical building, recovering and restoring the clicker materials of the facade, the glass mosaic coverings of the pillars and internal rooms, the original colors and flooring. The works were completed in 2017.
In a short poem, Giuseppe Caputo exalts the healing properties of the Stabia waters and the quality of the air, which attract people from all over the world.